Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Retail. In today's episode, guy who won't buy from us because we supposed communists. No quarters? Guess I'll waste gas and spend more to fill up my car then. As one of my favorite memes says, why you always lying? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Guy who won't buy from us because we supposed communists. A little background: I work a retail online store mostly, and we do have people come in from time to time, but mostly online correspondence. This one customer just will not stop sending us email for a few days straight about the item he received being made in China. First email. You cannot imagine how disappointed I was when the chuck I just received was made in China. I'll never order from you again because by supporting the CCP, we are in effect supporting the takeover of America by the communists. Not on my watch. Second email. You sell crap made in China, I'll never buy from you again. Third email. And was I ever disappointed? The chuck was made in China, so that means you are supporting the CCP. Never again will I buy crap from you. What did I do with the chuck? I put it in my vise and cut it in two, then melted it down in my forge. You could have at least been honest and stated the crap was made in China, but you'd rather support the CCP than be honest. Never again will I order anything from you, and I'll let my friends know as well. My boss told him. Hi Ken. Yes, many of our items are made in China and many of your items as well. If you have any of the following items, they all have made in China parts as well as assembled there too. Nails, screws, TV, cable box, phone, computer, wallet, watch, clothes, iPad, tablets, food, car, and many other things. Might as well become a nudist and be nomadic if you don't want to support the CCP at all. Live under a rock and you might never hear about China ever again. But do your research before being so bluntly rude and disrespectful in an email. We don't need your business, but you could have at the very least kept a professional manner instead of telling us you melted down the chuck. You just wasted your own money. Best regards. Owner. I'm so angry about the Chinese Communist Party that I destroyed the item I bought from you. Because they're communists. I am beyond outraged that you would buy anything from those filthy commies. Hang on, what do you mean, what year is it? It's obviously 1961, the height of the Red Scare. Why would you ask such a stupid question? He probably also destroyed his Nike shoes when they supported BLM. However, I'd like a refund, could have been hilarious. He must be proud to live in a capitalist society where private companies are heavily incentivized to minimize costs to stay competitive. Which they do by outsourcing manufacturing to China. Wonder if he'll ever come to the realization that the so-called CCP isn't actually communist. You know, that state responsible for promoting for-profit, private companies that US companies like to do business with. Your boss is hilarious. Send him a copy of Mao's Little Red Book. Bound and printed in the U.S.A. Not to mention that China is about as communist as J. Rockefeller these days. Well, they are all the bad parts of communism, anyway. He blames China before ever blaming the wealthy class that disowned American labor for labor overseas. Interesting. I assume Chuck is not the shoe or a copy of the TV show on DVD. I'm going to guess it's a drill chuck. I had a guy come into where I used to work and started belly aching about all the products made in China. He was wearing an Adidas track suit and Nike sneakers. He's AF * king moron. Willing to bet this guy probably also owns a red hat with white lettering, which are also made in China. No quarters? Guess I'll waste gas and spend more to fill up my car then. This just happened a few minutes ago, and I'm still confused on how stupid this lady is. So, I work at a gas station that happens to get a lot of cash transactions, so we occasionally run out of change in our registers. We can get more out of the safe, but it's a pain in the ass to do. And when we get money out, it's in specific denominations, and the safe locks us out for a few minutes every time. We're also a college town and are about an hour or so west of Chicago, so a lot of times people will try and get a ton of change for the tolls instead of just buying a iPass. Now, this lady sent her daughter in. She pays for gas and asks if she can get a couple bucks of quarters. Now, I'm out of quarters at the moment and tell her this. She leaves and not even 2 minutes later her mother comes in asking for a refund on the gas, all just because we're currently out of quarters at the moment. We're not the cheapest gas station in town, but she'd either have to drive all the way to the other side of town to get cheaper gas or drive a few minutes to the closest gas stations that also have higher gas prices than us. All because she needs quarters. Exactly how does one go about returning pumped gas for a refund? I'd guess the daughter prepaid, went back to the mom and said they didn't have quarters, then mom just went in to get the money back before she pumped any gas. When I worked for a delivery company, I saw several people change their minds in the 30 seconds between prepaying and pumping. I'm not going to say that they're the worst, but gas station customers can be pretty brain dead. About 80% of customers who come inside to prepay for the first time, according to them, have no idea what dollar amount to tell us to put on the pump. Employee: okay, I just need to know how much you want to pay and what pump you're at. I want to fill it up. Stare. I have no idea. Okay, sir, ma'am, just guess and give me a dollar amount. I have no idea. Stare. I don't know, I have about a quarter tank left, what do you think? Stare. I need 15 gallons. Well, we have multiple prices, so how much do you want to pay? 15 gallons. Stare. They almost never say what pump they're at, as well. These are mostly older customers, and about 1/10 of them will curse us out for not knowing how much gas they need to pay for in their own vehicles, then leave in a huff, saying they'll go somewhere else. Customers are stupid. When I worked at a gas station, most of the time the prices were the same except two who were 1 cent cheaper. A woman had a B*TCH at me and said she drove about 15 minutes because one was cheaper. See, I don't understand this. I had a coworker say he goes out of his way by miles because one gas station is 3 cents cheaper. I asked how big his gas tank was, and it was something like 20 gallons. I had to point out to him that he wasted all that time and gas to save 60 cents. Does she expect you to *CK the gas out her tank with a straw or something LMAO? Either she or the daughter got skills, or it is a prepaid system. Americans are just mean. Both adults in this story are mean. So a lot of times people will try and get a ton of change for the tolls instead of just buying a iPass. I think I know round about where you are. Aside from the occasional on-off ramp toll, all the regular toll booths are manned now though, aren't they? I never bothered to get the iPass, since I live in Wisconsin, and it's been at least 2 years since I've been down that way, but I used to make the trip at least twice a year, and for several years before that even I don't remember hitting a booth on I-90 proper that wasn't manned. I had long since stopped bothering to bring more than a couple bucks change to cover off ramps, because I knew I could always have whatever family member of a local politician had been hired to man the booth break a bill for me. Since COVID, all the tollways in Illinois that I have seen are iPass only now. My store shares a plaza with a laundromat, so we always get an influx of people wanting quarters. Thankfully most of them move on after we give them a limit of like $2 worth, so they aren't a major hassle. What drives me insane when it comes to change is how apparently no other store in the plaza, multiple restaurants and cell phone carriers, will go to the bank. At least twice a day we get an employee from one of them coming in with a stack of 20s, 50s, and 100s asking if we can change them. I've missed something here. At the first toll you hand over a few bills and get handed back your change. Or do all these toll booths not have people staffing them? I would have honored her refund as soon as she returned the gas. As one of my favorite memes says, why you always lying? Hello all. Short and sweet story for you. I was having a lovely little day when a customer walked up to me, with an attitude, ranting on about some unnecessary nonsense. As I am processing the order, customer says in the most aggressive tone, so, I rang your store yesterday all day, and no one would answer the phone for me. Looks me up and down. Customer, do you people just not answer your phone here? Me. Yeah, about that, we don't have a store phone to contact us. Silence for the rest of the transaction. Merry Friday evening everyone, and may you have a peaceful weekend if you're working. I would love to not have a store phone to answer. Callers 99.9% of the time are F***king idiots. Retail has its problems, but not having a phone has been a huge perk. My sympathies. Yeah, don't you just love those calls where the customer gets you to give them the prices of each model of the thing they are looking for, asks you a bunch of questions about each, then finishes the call with, okay, sounds good, I guess I'll just come to the store then, and make my decision. Yeah. You could have just done that without this unnecessary phone call. You just know that by the time they show up to the store, they've already forgotten the prices you told them, along with the answers to all the questions they asked. I'm jealous. As a front-end shift manager, we cover the customer service desk. There is an automated system that answers and tells you which number for each department. But almost every call starts with "I've been calling for 30 minutes and no one answered." You think we might be busy? I wish our phone system would just die. It's as heavenly when it's down for some reason, and we don't know, or pretend to not know, for a couple of days. The people who complain about not getting through to us for 30 minutes are always the ones with a question that would be much easier to answer if they actually bothered to come visit us in store. Why does the idea of no phones turn me on so much? I've gotten people who get upset because they called all day and no one answer, then get more mad because we told them we were closed those days, we close Sat/Sun and weekends. Either way, if no one is answering at all, why spend all day? Or just get off your lazy ass and actually come to the store, instead of calling all day like a moron. Oh, how I wish we had no store phone. Our phone didn't have a hold button, so you either covered the receiver or finished the call while ringing up a customer. I felt so rude. I work at a hardware store, and the number of questions like, do you sell hardware? Yes, verbatim that, do you sell nails/hammers/screws/ etc. is so out of control. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.